Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking the Ropes, and welcome to another episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review for AEW Rampage from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. To open the show, we had what I kind of thought was going to be the main event, but that's just me. It's Tomohiro Ishii versus Adam Cole in the Owen Hart Memorial Foundation men's tournament qualifier. Sorry, it's a lot. This is a preview of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view coming up on June 26th, and also adding some impressive talent to this tournament no matter who wins. Tomohiro Ishii is a veteran in the Japanese scene who has had quite a few appearances for AEW, and it is amazing to watch him wrestle. Cole gets overconfident early, and Ishii makes him pay. They go outside, and Ishii lays the chops in heavy. Cole then ducks a chop, and Ishii hits the post, and Cole takes control of the match, taking it back into the ring and slowing the pace down. Ishii is such an impressive man to watch in the ring as he overpowers his opponents in ways most can't even think of. Cole, though, is having to dig in deep as he drops Ishii once more. Ishii, though, makes him pay again, dropping Cole on his head with a superplex. Cole then sets up for the boom, but Ishii ducks it and hits a deep diving lariat for a near fall. Cole then fires back with a brainbuster, but Ishii brushes off a super kick, and then both men get dropped. Just when Cole looks like he has it done, Jay White then distracts a ref, laying out Rocky Romero on the outside. And then Cole hits the low blow and lowers the boom for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good. While the match was, in my opinion, was great, that finish for Adam Cole is starting to get a little stale for me. It's okay because I get it, they're just doing certain story things and whatever, but he has had that specifically happen like that, and I just think he can do other ways sometimes, but I get what they're doing still, so it's good. I would have done it great if they'd even done it slightly differently, but it's okay. We then get the JAS being shown trying to enter tonight, and they are told they're not allowed in, and Jericho is not okay with this. Garcia is not to worry, he will take care of Kingston by himself. Jericho then says he is going to be filing an official complaint with HR for this. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good, as well as we get Hook shown. So they're talking about his previous match, and before he can really do anything, Danhausen is shown destroying Hook's chips, or at least some chips. Hook then gets right in his face and tells Danhausen that he has his attention. Now, I don't know if this is the first time Hook has talked, but in my memory it is. For my WTR scale, I give this a good. Lance Archer versus Serpentico is up next, and Lance makes his storming entrance in like we kind of always expect, and Serpentico tries to hit a tope suicida, but Archer stops it and hits a few strong moves, followed by the blackout for the win. Excuse me. Archer then mocks Wardlow with the conducting of the symphony. He lays out Serpentico once more. For my WTR scale, I gave this a meh because we really didn't need to build Archer in this way. We already knew he's a credible opponent for Wardlow, and it was just kind of a match for him. And while I understand what they're doing, it felt unneeded, and that's just mine. We then get Smart Mark Sterling talking about Tony Nese. He's been undefeated since starting to work with him, and he looks to continue this streak. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good. I imagine all of these matches have been happening on Dark and Elevation, but that is good because that means we are going to be giving Tony Nese a push that he deserves. We then get Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston, and everyone is banned from ringside. It'll just be a one-on-one to see what each man is made of. Kingston instantly hops on Garcia and starts to lay him out, beating on Garcia on the outside. Garcia, though, uses his speed to gain the edge and starts to wear down the crafty Kingston. Garcia and Kingston both resort to just biting each other as they hit everything that comes to mind. Neither man gains the edge for very long as they're so evenly matched. While their styles are very different, they are also very similar nonetheless. Uh, both men knowing how to inflict damage in the worst ways possible, but in very different ways than the other as well. Kingston looks like this is setting up for the finish, but Garcia locks in the Lion Tamer, which they had called just the standard name for it, and it's the Boston Crab, and I thought that was interesting considering he's in Jericho's group. We could have called it the Walls of Jericho. They've called it that before. The Lion Tamer has been the name of it before. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. You could have just done a little bit of storytelling, but you failed to. He then switches to a sharpshooter, which was impressive. But Kingston made it to the ropes. It did look like he kind of tapped there, but it was more, I guess it more was him reaching for the ropes, but it did look kind of like he tapped, but I guess not. Kingston then rallies with an exploder for a near fall, and then sets up for the spinning back fist and smashes Garcia and gets the win. After the match, Kingston takes his belt off and grabs the mic, and he kind of whipped it at Garcia, and then gets in, picks up Garcia, and just sends Chris a message saying that this whole thing was a message. For my WTR scale, I gave this a great. This was a really, in my opinion, this could have opened Rampage, and it would have been very good, but I understand why it didn't, because we had to have that little video package of JAS being banned. We then get Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland talking with Tony Schiavone. And Lee talks about what Taz did, and he says he used to have respect for him, but not after how he had cheated and cost them their match. Swerve says that they may have won the battle, but they will have to pay in blood because the war is just starting. Starks and Hobbs say they aren't scared of what they have to say, and they will do the same thing they have been doing. My WTR scale, I gave this a good. I'm enjoying this feud, and I like that we are kind of keeping Swerve and Keith together. They have been a very good tag team, in my opinion. We then get Tony Schiavone interviewing the 3 of the 4 women, I believe, in the women's the women's tournament. Tony's very busy tonight as he jumps from interview to interview. Tony Storm, doesn't want to hear Britt talk anymore, and tells Jamie that she will see her in the first round. And the thing is, it seems like Tony's already kind of understanding what's going on here. Britt talks a lot, and Jamie just kind of sits there listening to Britt. She says that she's gonna see Jamie in the first round, and if Britt makes it to the next round and they should meet, she will see her there too. For my WTR scale, I gave this a good because I'm looking forward to the women's tournament right now a little more than I'm enjoying or looking forward to the men's tournament, because that is a good thing because they are building it with a little more care currently. That's not to say the men's isn't being built very carefully, it's just it doesn't have very many people in it currently. Excuse me. Dax and Cash talk about their upcoming match and say that this isn't about them, it is about paying respect to Owen and his legacy. My WTR scale, I gave this a good. This is one of those ones that's building more momentum for the men's tournament, and I'm enjoying that. Mark Henry talks with Jade and Marina Shafir about their upcoming match and asks Jade if she thinks Shafir deserves respect. And Jade has Mark Sterling respond for her. He says they are already planning the celebration for her 30th win. Shafir says that she's never faced the problem, and tonight it will be too much for Jade. For my WTR skill, I gave this a good. We then get our main event, the TBS Championship, Jade Cargill defending against Marina Shafir. I hope Jade's overconfidence is going to cost her tonight. I have not been sold on her run here. I hope she drops the belt. Shafir looks ready to take it, and Jade and her make Jade pay for her arrogance. Shafir starts to kick Jade, and they both get some good shots in, but They spill to the outside, and Mark takes the time to talk to the ref, so the baddies can help Jade wear her down. Jade is now in control in the ring as she does her basketball elbow thing and continues to control Shafir. Marina, though, shows her athleticism and flips around for a sleeper, but Jade turns it into a power slam and continues to wear down Shafir. Until Marina stops her in her tracks and locks in a version of a knee bar. She then targets Jade's knee that has now been damaged and even deals with Mark so it can just be her and Jade. The baddies distract Marina. This allows Jade to hit a big pump kick and starts to wear Shafir down again. Jade then puts Marina through the timekeeper's table and tosses her into the ring, but takes time to celebrate with the baddies and does an overconfident pin, allowing Shafir to lock in a knee bar again and tells Jade to solve her. Jade then stomps her head in with her heel and then hits Jaded for the win. She celebrates with the baddies as cash and balloons rain down. Rated BTR scale, I gave this a good. The match was very good. I did enjoy the match. As much as I didn't enjoy the finish. I don't think I'm a big fan of Jade, and that is the big problem here, and that's okay. I'm allowed to not like people. My overall for the show, I gave it a good. It was a very good Rampage. These past two shows been, I wouldn't say down compared to some, but they've been amazing match-wise, but the storylines have been kind of flatlining a little bit, and we have a couple coming up on the rise here, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. And they are going to probably be more prominent next week, and I'm really been enjoying everything that AEW's been doing, but as there always will be, it will be ups and downs, and I have been enjoying it all nonetheless. My segment of the night goes to Lee and Swerve. They did very well setting up that. The match of the night goes to Garcia and Kingston. I thought they had the best match, maybe even of the week. There is quite a few on that list, but I think that they are up there for sure. My performer of the night, is Tomohiro Ishii. He did amazing in his match. While Cole did awesome as well, I think Ishii really did prove himself well in that match again. But that is all for this episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review. Thank you all for dropping in. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload a video. And I'll see you in the next one.